Today, I'm going to be showcasing the team that I used to get top 16 at the 2025 Pokemon World Championship that features Koraidon and Regieleki. We're going to be showcasing the team and seeing how well it can perform. This was the only Regieleki team that was brought to the 2025 Pokemon World Championship that features a duo of Koraidon and Calyx Shadow Rider. Let's break it down. First up, we have the Life Orb Calyx Shadow Rider with the As-1 ability and the Dark Terror type to help out against Prankster moves, and opposing Calyx Shadow Rider with the Astral Barrage, Psychic, Nasty Plot, and Protect. Yeah, it's one of my favorite restricted Pokemon to use, especially this generation. I've had some pretty good placements with Calyx Shadow Rider. It's probably like one of my favorite restricted Pokemon to use, especially the accurate restricted Pokemon to use. Kyogre, unfortunately, was not a consideration for my Worlds team after the 2024 run that I had, where I didn't win a single set because Kyogre decided, hey, I'm just gonna not hit the moves when it matters kind of mon. So having moves that are just guaranteed accurate, the fastest restricted Pokemon in the format, felt like it's just a very powerful mon, and when it is set up and positioned correctly, it is just able to destroy teams. And I just really like that about Shadow Rider and feel like it's pretty consistent for the most part. Went with the Life Orb and the Terra Dark set. Of course, it's a pretty standard one, but Dark just really helped out against opposing Calyx Shadow Rider and made Grimmsnarl playable. So yeah, otherwise maybe I would have tried out some different Terras, but just being able to be good into opposing Calyx Shadow Rider, especially when I don't really have many natural resist or immunities on this team, just made it very nice here. EV spread wise, we went with 172 HP, 20 defense, 20 special defense, 132 special attack, and 164 speed with Intimidate. And you might be wondering, what the heck is the spread? I kept changing the Calyx Shadow Rider spreads. Like, there were a lot. Originally, I was running max speed Calyx Shadow Rider for the most part, because in this regulation, a lot of them were max speed. And then towards the Worlds meta, it ended up shifting to Moz Calyx Shadow Rider really taking over. And when I think about it, against Sash Calyx Shadow Rider, I'm not too scared because I do have Regieleki with Electro Web, and I don't really have to worry about their Astral Barrages doing too much damage. While the slower Life Orb sets, if I'm like, okay, if I have bulk and speed advantage, then I'm in a fantastic spot against them. So I decided, you know what, it might be worth taking the risk, just going with a pretty fast Shadow Rider that will be able to outspeed most of the opposing Shadow Riders in the tournament. So went with a pretty bulky one. Had a lot of HP, had a good amount of defense, and the reason I put in the defenses like it is because I was doing some micro calcs about like, okay, what are the percentages I take, and I noticed that with 20 in each defenses, I was taking a bit better than if I had them in that mattered more to me than if it was like in special attack or HP. So that was like how I ended up coming up with the numbers. Basically 164 timid was the one I wanted to go for, because a lot of the timid Calyx Shadow Riders are slow, are either going to hit 206, or they might go to that 156 timid to hit the 209, because that's the extra stat point. And then I just decided, you know, I'm going to speed creep that because I also guaranteed the outspeed +1 Smeargle. So that was where I went. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm never speed time with this Calyx Shadow Rider, so I should always be able to have consistent lines, and thinking about like, okay, am I faster, am I slower? Like, I pretty much just guaranteed that confirmation, and then I'm able to play accordingly. So that was a very important thing, to have an awkward speed stat, and it just works out. It's a bulky Shadow Rider, does a lot of damage initially, can set up +2, get KOs, and it still pretty much does what I need it to do. It is a fantastic EV spread that just worked out so well for me at this World Championship. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Clear Amulet Koraidon, with the ability to set up the Sun and boost its attack damage output with the Fire Terror type, with Flare Blitz, Collision Course, Flame Charge, Protect. It's a very standard Koraidon. Clear Amulet just prevents its stats from getting dropped from Icy Wind and the Intimidate. Terrify, of course, power up its fire type moves even further, but also the fact that it does get rid of the Ice and Fairy weakness that Koraidon has. And Flame Charge is a great setup move. Collision Course, which I did prefer over the Low Kick in close combat, because Low Kick I thought was pretty bad because it's better into opposing restricteds in cases, but also like weaker into Incineroar, weaker into Chi-Yu, which you want to be able to pressure a Calyx Shadow Rider. So I'd rather just have Collision Course for consistency. It's also better in Terapagos and a few other mons, so definitely wanted Collision Course for sure. And then Flare Blitz for that really strong fire attack across the board. EV spread wise, this is basically the Koraidon I've been running the entire season so far, with max HP. Because of the Flare Blitz recoil, you want to be able to hang on, you want to have a good amount of bulk too, to be able to live like Astral Barrages, body presses pretty comfortably. And we have 20 special defense, 4 defense, 116 attack with Animate Nature, and 116 speed. So the attack, what it allows it to do, get an extra jump point to its attack, so it's really doing a good amount of damage. You don't need max attack because numbers do kind of fall off with the more investment you have. You have a lot of bulk. For instance, this spread does allow you to have a really good chance of living a Draco Meteor from a Choice Specs Miraidon if the grassy terrain is set up, so it is pretty solid there. And the speed does allow you to speed creep Landers Incarnate, which is important to me because the fact that if they run like timid max speed Landers Incarnate with like a Choice Scarf, I can flame charge and then I just guarantee outspeed like the Landers. I'll also outspeed any like timid Chiyus, Jolly Urshifus. So just having that amount of speed just really made it safe for a lot of game plans that I had there. And overall, Koraidon fought was a fantastic mon with Calyx Shadow Rider. It's more flexible than Zamazenta, which I do like because of the fact that I can actually switch out and not have to worry about losing my defense boost, which is pretty vital to how Zamazenta is able to put on so much pressure. And having that consistency, being able to help out against like Rapid Strike Urshifu for the Calyx Shadow Rider, the Rain matchup, and more. I just really liked Koraidon more than Zamazenta with how I play with Calyx Shadow Rider, so it ended up being my restricted of choice. And I felt like the EV spread did put up some numbers at the World Championship. Next Pokemon is the Assault Vest Rillaboom with the Grassy Surge to summon the grassy terrain, the Fire Terra type. Of course, great defensive typing against the Ice type attacks, as well as the really strong Fairy and Fire type moves that can hit Rillaboom with Woodhammer, Fake Out, Grassy Glide, and U-Turn. It's a pretty standard Rillaboom, pretty much like it's just a good partner. It's pretty classic. You don't really see the balance mode of Calyx Shadow Koraidon, but I was kind of surprised that no one was really running the balanced version because I thought it was really good, but everyone just kept running the Wheezing Koraidon, Calyx Shadow Rider versions or the really offensive Sun versions. And I really do think that just standard Rillaboom Incineroar, with of course is like true good support to Calyx Shadow Rider, does work with Koraidon pretty well too. So I'm very shocked that it took so long to it be discovered, but yeah, it was pretty fantastic. A lot of the Rillabooms changed to Water Terra for the World Championship. I still like Fire because I like having that Fairy resist across the board. And overall, like, there was nothing to complain about this Rillaboom. It was just able to put on a good amount of work at the World Championship. It was able to do a lot of damage. It had 68 attack with Animate Nature, which was, I guess, a bit of leftover because I knew I was going to run max special defense on the Rillaboom for the calcs, like the Helping Hand Draco Meteor with Farigiraf when in grassy terrain, as well as like +2 life orb Calyx Shadow Rider Astral Barrages. I basically been really running a bulky Rillaboom for the most part the entire season. I did debate about having maybe like a little bit more physical defense to be able to take attacks like the Glacial Lancer and Calyx Ice Rider, but really, like, what am I doing with the Rillaboom? It's really just going to be for that specially defensive monster, so you can take the Shadow Rider and the Miraidon attacks especially. So it's just more valuable to have it in that because Rillaboom, for instance, has a really good chance of just surviving a Life Orb Calyx Shadow Rider Astral Barrage at +2. And yeah, like, it's pretty much guaranteed to live that. Just a small roll to not live that and just fire back some pretty good damage across the board. Next Pokemon we have is the Safety Goggles Incineroar with the Intimidate ability and the Bug Terror type to help out against the Zamazenta Body Press, especially with the Fake Out, Parting Shot, Knockoff, and Roar. So I was really heavily debating about this Incineroar for a long time. I think when I started Regulation I and when Amoonguss was like not used at all, I was actually running leftovers on Incineroar for just getting extra recovery against like the Leech Seed Cali Ice that popped off, and like it was actually putting in a good amount of work. Towards the end of the season, I ended up going with Safety Goggles when Amoonguss started picking up, and I just, especially against Smeargle with Spore, I want to make sure that, like, okay, I am not getting spored. I have Safety Goggles on the Incineroar. I have the Rillaboom as Spore switch-in, so I do have 2 at least Spore immunities that I can utilize. So being able to play around Amoonguss and setup as well is also a pretty big thing that I wanted, and it just works out pretty well here. I also debated about Covert Cloak, but Safety Goggles was my main choice here. Fake Out, of course, great support move. Parting Shot to reposition. The Knockoff to get rid of items and pressure opposing Calyx Shadow Rider and Lunalis. And then Roar. So I chose Roar because it became more of a tech after NAIC and Japan Nats. And it was just really good against like anti-setup stuff. Like, it was really good against opposing Shadow Rider, where if it's like Incin plus Shadow Rider, I could go for a Roar. And if they don't have to boost a Calyx Shadow Rider out, even if Incin takes a bunch of damage, that does give me opportunities to like get more damage or set up with my Calyx Shadow Rider and Volcarona in order to really just out pressure the team by that point. And there's also some stuff that I can do where I do side Roar on myself to reposition, like go for protect roar or go for like a KO and roar is actually like a thing that I have done before. And then also I can roar to, you know, deny trick rooms and some other setups where like if they try to position something like a flame charge Koraidon for the speed boost, I make sure that I can deny it with the roar and make sure it's never set up like that. So that's what roar does. And I did debate about several moves like helping hand, flare blitz, protect at one point, but felt like roar, I'm pretty comfortable with roar and Incineroar because I did use it to get top 4 at the 2019 World Championship, and it's just like a really good move that I have a pretty good understanding of and gives me more options in a limited board state sometimes with Incineroar next to a partner. EV spread wise, it's pretty much a really bulky Incineroar that I've been running throughout with just a small few adjustments. I don't think anyone runs 12 speed Incineroar, so I'm like, okay, I get to figure out like what their speed tiers are, and I feel like a lot of roar Incineroars are like slower with like imperfect speed IVs, so I generally am able to roar the Incineroars out before they can roar me out, which could actually matter in like those heavy setup matches, and then have a lot of HP and the defense that's able to live Surging Strikes from Urshifu or give it the best chance to live Surging Strikes from Urshifu, and then the rest goes into special defense. This allows me to live like Life Orb Astral Barrage from Shadow Rider plus a Body Press from Zamazenta if I go for the Terra Bug option. So I could go for a roar into Shadow Rider, I could go for a roar into Zamazenta to get rid of the defense boost. There were a few things that were utilized there, and yeah, that is the Incineroar. It was able to put in a good amount of work, and we all know how good Incineroar is in the format. Next Pokemon we have is the Volcarona with the Leftovers and the Flame Body, having a chance to burn any Pokemon that come into contact with Volcarona with the Water Terra type with Fiery Dance, Giga Drain, Quiver Dance, and Protect. Volcarona was the last mon I added to the team, and it was like slightly after NIC, and I thought like Volcarona in Sun is actually pretty strong. The reason I chose Volcarona is because I was a little bit weak to the Body Press from Zamazenta because I didn't have the best switch-ins, especially if Calyx Shatter decided to go for Terrestrialization against Calyx Shatter Zamazenta mirrors. And I'm like, okay, Volcarona is really good at +2, and I really like it because +2 in the Sun with Fiery Dance can get some Okos. It can knock out some Calyx Shadow Riders. It can two-shot Koraidons and Miraidons. So I really like the idea of just being able to set up with the Volcarona. Also with Volcarona Koraidon, which is like a fantastic pairing, which I'm surprised we haven't seen more of. The fact that you, of course, scare away the water Urshifus from coming out because of the fact that you have the Flame Body, you have the Sun as well. So just being able to put on the pressure against water Urshifus, which is probably like a lot of the ways that they break through Volcarona on like the Miraidon Lunala team, for example, it's just able to put on so much pressure, which I really like. The Leftovers Grassy Terrain is able to stack, and you might be asking why I didn't run Grassy Seed. I think Leftovers is just way better, especially in situations where I switch out to Volcarona. Being able to stack the recovery of Leftovers and the Grassy Terrain is just fantastic for this setup mon, especially in the matchups against special attackers like Calyx Shatter and Miraidon. It is super useful, even against Lunala, anything really. Like Leftovers is just absolutely an insane item, and I think it's way better than the Seed variants with Giga Drain for recovery, which I can also use with Rillaboom with Grassy Terrain to boost it as well. The Fiery Dance allows me to position where, okay, like if they're playing passive or defensive and I'm getting Fiery Dances off, I still have a chance to boost, so it can even sweep teams if I even if I'm not going for Quiver Dance. Like the fact if I'm just getting Fiery Dance boost is pretty nice. Flamethrower, Sun Calx, they were still pretty good, but like I don't think they were as game changing as Fiery Dance boost, especially since I'm going for like a lot of Volcarona attacks usually throughout a setup Volcarona game. Like just having a chance to boost even further just makes it so much harder for my opponent to actually set up into a nice position. So EV spread wise, this is a very bulky Volcarona. This is max HP Volcarona to get the maximum amount of Grassy Terrain and Leftovers recovery. 196 defense. What this allows you to do is survive a Ursaluna Facade after an Intimidate. So if they're burned and they go for Facade into you and they're -1 from the Intimidate, the Volcarona will be able to hang around and go for Giga Drain. Also, physically defensive Volcarona is the best way to run it because of the fact that if you're not running the Seed, you want to utilize the Intimidate and have a good amount of defense to be able to take on Pokemon like the Zamazenta, Chien Pals, and like a bunch of other physical attackers. So you definitely want a good amount of bulk there. 12 special attack with a modest nature, 4 special defense, and then 44 speed. The 44 speed allows the Volcarona to be able to outspeed the base 135s that are neutral nature, like Modest Miraidon, Adamant Koraidon, Adamant Chien Pal, and more after a Quiver Dance or an Electro Web. So yeah, this is the Volcarona set. It was a absolute monster in practice. It was actually my best mon in practice. I would usually go Volcarona mode most of the time with one restricted generally. But at the World Championship, it still came into play a lot, but it didn't really come up as much as I thought it would have. But in the matches it did, it was an absolute monster. Final Pokemon on this team is the Focus Sash Regieleki with the Transistor ability that powers up its electric type moves with the electric terror type to even further power up the electric type moves with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Electro Whip, and Protect. Yeah, Regieleki, the only one that was brought to the World Championship, and it was able to get top 16. I think this mon, I've talked about it on my podcast known as the Breakfast Club several times, and I think the mon was super underrated. It is one of the only Pokemon that naturally outspeed Calyx Shadow. Like, it's only like this Pokemon, Electrode, and like there's probably one other mon that outspeeds Calyx Shadow that I'm not thinking of, but yeah, that is it. Otherwise, you have to run a Choice Scarf mon or Booster Energy mon with Pro Synthesis or Quark Drive. But obviously, if you switch out, if you're put in an unfavorable position, you don't outspeed afterward, and yeah, it becomes awkward then. So I really like the idea of if you run Calyx Shadow Rider, you should always have a mon that allows either you need Prankster Tailwind, so you can actually, or Priority Tailwind in general, so you can outspeed opposing Calyx Shadow Rider, or you need one mon naturally faster than opposing Shadow Rider. So I ran Timid Max Speed Shadow Rider usually, and then I ran Regieleki, and I thought Regieleki was helpful. Otherwise, like, the only exception to this rule otherwise is going for having a wide guard on one of the mons like Smeargle, and I did have a Smeargle version of this team at one point. The initial build that I had for the team was Calyx Shadow Rider, Koraidon, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Ogerpon, Heartflame over Volcarona, and Regieleki. But I've been using Regieleki for several months, and I've talked about it. Like, it's good. I think just having that natural fast speed without a Choice Scarf or rely on the booster energy is pretty solid, or having to rely on weather, because that's the one downside I had to Flutter Mane was I did consider Flutter Mane over Eleki at times, but the fact is you need the Sun Up in order to outspeed, which is not that great. So having that guaranteed Eleki can outspeed, able to pressure Tornadus as well, which was kind of annoying for the team in general, being able to help out against the Kyogre matchups too. Like, it is a great mon, which I'm kind of surprised by. I want to shout out NJ11, who did get top 8 with it at the 2024 World Championship, and someone I worked with for this World Championship as well. This was a build like I showed him like in May, and he's like, wow, this looks really cool. So yeah, like, I think Eleki is just a good mon. I'm surprised it wasn't used more in Regulation I, but yeah, it's fantastic overall. And again, it's not like the most brought mon on the team, but it does help out in the really tough matchups, and against opposing Shadow Rider, it's definitely a very useful mon to have. Also, I do want to note that I do have a very long video about like how I actually constructed the team from scratch from the start of May towards the end of the World Championship, and all the different builds and drafts that I had and what inspired it. So if you would like to check out that video, it's actually on my second YouTube channel that I just made. It's a bonus channel that I have, James W. Baek bonus. So if you want to go check out that channel and the video, I'll link it down below. So if you want like a more in-depth detail of like how I actually constructed everything about this team and what were the changes that were made throughout, make sure you go check it out. It'll be linked in the description down below. Make sure you go check it out after finishing this video though. So how to use the team. Overall, the team, I mean, it's like a pretty standard balance core for the most part. You have the setup Calyx Shadow, of course. You have the Volcarona with the Quiver Dance. You set up with double fake out pressure, of course, with Rillaboom and Incineroar. You have the Koraidon that can play a bit aggressive or set up the Sun for Volcarona. You have the more offensive mode with like Regieleki, Calyx Shadow, and Koraidon. Regieleki, Shadow Rider, Regieleki, Koraidon can go for Electro Web Astral, or Electro Web plus like a big Flare Blitz or Collision Course. Can do a ton of damage. There's also things like leading both restricteds with Calyx Shadow Rider, a Koraidon, and then just threatening a bunch of pressure. You could lead like Rillaboom and Incineroar and try to set up for either Shadow Rider or Volcarona to come in a good position for a perfect setup. And yeah, there's like a bunch of different leads that you could go for. Regieleki Rillaboom is also something that I've led several times against Calyx Shadow Rider teams. I've also led just a bunch of different things like Koraidon, Volcarona, and the Koraidon, Rillaboom, and Incineroar are probably like big ones that I think was really nice for a fake out and pretty heavy damage and then reposition. So yeah, there's a lot of ways that can be utilized for the team. I don't think it's the best ladder team, so we'll see how it goes, but let us get started and play some games. What is this? Ho-Oh, Eternatus, Landers, Incarnate, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Grimmsnarl. I guess we have Stall. Okay. Oh, Stall is not great for me because I have, I mean, it's fine, I guess. It's not really amazing, actually. No, I don't think it's amazing. Did I bring Rilla in this matchup? I feel like the answer is no. No, actually, okay. I'm thinking I definitely need Calyrex. I think I'm probably bringing Yvesangelist to punish the Ho-Oh. I think it's Calyrex Ensign with Koraidon plus Regieleki back. Volcarona is like okay here, but it's not really good against the restricteds. The Koraidon is fine. Like, I think the ideal situation is if they set up the Eternatus with like cosmic power stuff, I can roar the Eternatus while trying to get rid of the other mons beside it. And they waste a turn setting up, and then I'm able to roar. That's if they don't know that I have roar. If they know that I have roar and play aggressive, it could get a bit ugly, but you know, that's just how some of these stall teams go at times. Like, I think I have good tools to really be able to break through, but we'll see. The Ho-Oh, I'm assuming, is like whirlwind stuff. The Eternatus could be fire spin, could be some other stuff. Grimmsnarl Eternatus makes sense. It's probably Covert Cloak Eternatus, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm just gonna fake out the Grimmsnarl turn 1 and just click Nasty Plot, because there's not really a downside here. Because if they go for Cosmic Power, that's fine. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go for fake out into the Grimmsnarl and Nasty Plot. If it's Covert Cloak Grim, whatever. But I imagine, I mean, I guess it could be Black Sludge on the Eternatus as well, but I feel like it's more likely Terra Fairy, because I feel like the stall teams would way prefer Terra Fairy than Terra Poison with Black Sludge. Okay, no Terras, which is surprising because I could have just fired off a Life Orb Psychic. Nasty Plot. What's the Eternatus doing? Cosmic Power. Yep. Okay. Pretty much what I expect. They could Thunder Wave this turn, but I think they're most likely just going to Light Screen and Terrasilize now. So I'm actually going to make my very big aggressive play here, which is going to be roaring the Eternatus and Nasty Plotting. They go for the Terra. Yep. So there should be Terra Fairy, I'd assume, on the Eternatus, and then Grimmsnarl goes for the screen. Yeah. I haven't faced too many stall teams when I was practicing with this team, but I do kind of get like how I play against this. Yeah, they went for a Thunder Wave. Okay. That's fine. It's not the biggest deal in the world. Oh, they just Sludge Bomb immediately. Okay. No Poison is fantastic. I get the Nasty Plot. And the Roar. Perfect. So who am I roaring? Who is getting roared? The Landers. Okay. That's a bit ugly, but it's still fine. Because Astral Barrage is about to hurt at +4. Assuming I get the attack off. If I don't get the attack off, it's like whatever. Am I swapping Ensign? I don't really need Ensign too much, I think, in the rest of the game. I don't need my Sash on Yvesangelist though, so I think my best play is actually just to Astral Barrage and swap to Yvesangelist. There's no way it's Sucker Punch Grim. If you're Sucker Punch Grim, I'll cry, but I don't think it's likely. I think +4 Astral might just KO Grim with Life Orb if they don't Light Screen this turn. They do Light Screen, but the Light Screen's still fine for me. Oh, they Earth Powered what was my instant slot, so my Calyrex didn't take any damage, which is surprising here. Okay. Maybe they expect to Protect Switch to Rilla. And nice, I do get the Astral. So now I'm +5 because I should easily knock out Landis Incarnate here. Yep. And look at that damage in the Grim. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now I'm going to start steamrolling here because +5 Calyrex with Life Orb is pretty much set up. Should I Terra Dark just to be safe? I think I should. Although I would like to save the Terra for Koraidon because it might be good there. Yeah, I think I saved the Terra. There's no way you're Sucker Punch Grim. Eternatus comes out, which is fine. Is the Grim in Volt Switch range? I think so. I'm just going to Astral Barrage and I'm just going to Volt Switch the Grim. If you're Sucker Punch, you have Sucker Punch, but I kind of doubt if you have Thunder Wave and screens. I think you're probably Spirit Break. So right now we have really good offensive pressure. to just potentially blow up this team. Although if the Eternatus gets set up, it's annoying. Oh, they hit protect. Okay, that's fine. Reflect on. Okay, that works. I get a free Volt Switch. Goodbye Grim. Sure, I don't get the boost, but that's perfectly fine. I get instant in for fake out now. Is it Ho-Oh back? I'm assuming it's Ho-Oh back, but I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to accomplish. Luckily, they didn't get Reflect up, so this is looking pretty good for me. I can just fake out the Ho and Astral. And that's the perfect time to be paralyzed, Calyx. That's the perfect time to be paralyzed. Not gonna lie. That is the best timing paralysis. Try to get a Terra Dart, but I was hoping they wouldn't Thunder Wave. I thought they would always Light Screen because I thought they took too much damage previously. So, I mean, I still can win even without the Thunder Wave para, so... Let's see. I just fake out the Ho, I Astral. No protects is beautiful. A Sludge Bomb? It's not about your Cobra Cloak Ho-Oh. Yeah. Nice. Guaranteed win. I think I do way too much. Beautiful. Alright. Alright. And that's one of the usefulness of Roar Instant. It is really able to shut down like any really heavy set of teams if positioned correctly. And that allows like time for my team to set up with the Calyx Shadow Rider, which is nice. Even with the Thunder Wave, if it's not Clear Amulet on Ho, and a lot of the stall teams usually run like leftovers, I could have done like Electro Web into Astral Barrage into the Ho slot and been completely fine. You saw how I was able to pivot around to the fake out. Like I felt like other than maybe I could have went for the Terra Dark instead to avoid the paralysis. I mean, it just worked out amazingly, right? I was still able to put on a ton of pressure against my opponent, and they really couldn't do much damage back because that's just the nature of the team, especially because they didn't touch my Calyx Shadow Rider at all. Probably anticipating like a switch to Rilla, maybe a parting shot switch to Rilla attempt, so they tried to deny that and it protect. What is this? Fluttermane, Volcarona, Miraidon, Grimmsnarl, Blaziken, Groudon. The latter experience. Okay. This is a terrible matchup. They have Groudon, Flutter, Miraidon, Grimmsnarl, and then double fires. This is not a fun matchup. Okay. What am I doing here? Probably leading Rillaboom. Rillaboom scripted, but like what else can I do? Gonna have to figure out if the Flutter has Shadow Ball. This matchup does not look like fun for my team. A Calyx Shadow Rider, Rillaboom. I bring in Cineroar, I think, and I go Koraidon. Is this the only mon that takes several Precipice Blades easily? Unfortunately, my team's just not good against like Terrifier, Groudon, Grimmsnarl. And then Miraidon's annoying because of these factors. Like, let's see. Groudon plus Blaziken, okay. Against Calyx Rillaboom. Sure. Can't wait to see what techs I'm gonna be dealing with. I'm just gonna hope that they double protect for some reason. I'm just gonna go to Instant and Nasty Plot. Is the fake out in Astral is super obvious. I don't think they're gonna let me do that. Why Blaziken lead though? Incineroar gets intimidated off. Only one can be Clear Amulet. The Groudon's Clear Amulet, so it's not Assault Vest. Groudon protects. The Blaziken protect as well. No, it didn't. Okay. What did you go for? Okay, at least it didn't KO me. At least it didn't KO me. Blaziken hits what, like 145? It doesn't outspeed my Calyx, I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna Astral Barrage and I'm just gonna fake out the Blaziken. If it's Terra Ghost, so be it. Okay, the Groudon switches out into Grimmsnarl. Is this protect or is this Terra Ghosts? Okay, they just attack. That's fine. All right. I can play out of that. So I do get some free astral damage into the Grim, which is nice. That's really good damage actually in the Grim. Okay. Speed boost. Now they outspeed my Calyx at +2. We're gonna roar the Blaziken so it doesn't have access to my. It doesn't have access to speed boost, and then it'll have to be reset. They reflect here for some reason. Okay. I don't know why they didn't light screen. Sure. Heat wave. It's mixed. Okay. We roar out the Blaziken. What mon are we seeing? Because this is actually kind of important. Is this Groudon or is this Miraidon? Flutter. That's not a no, this is fine. It's not ideal, but it's like okay. Okay. I'm gonna go for a Rillaboom switch, and I'm gonna go for a knockoff into the Flutter. Wait, only one can have Sash, so what item is this Flutter? Okay. The Terras haven't gone by super well, but no more Rhydon's actually kind of nice for me. There is some hope where there's no Miraidon that I have to deal with. So I don't have to Terra my Koraidon unless I want to go for the Flare Blitz. That means Terra Rillaboom or... I could still Terra the Calyx in the later parts of the game, which still is useful. But we will bring out Rillaboom. Fake Tears Moonblast. Oh, Gleam. Okay, so it's Specs probably. That's not Specs damage. What are you? Fairy Feather. Okay. That's fine. Question mark? I feel like it's Covercloak Grim. Better way they're playing it. Last turn of Grassy. I don't even think I go down to a Fake Tears Gleam. I think I'm just gonna U-turn the Grim, and I think I'm gonna knock off the Grim as well. Because there's a chance Flutter protects, or there's a chance Grim switches out and Groudon. Yep. Or if they go Blaziken, that's fine. Yeah, this is fine. Nice. Okay, that's not terrible for me. Because I do get a U-turn off into the Blaziken. Also, Dazzling Gleam probably means it doesn't have Shadow Ball or it doesn't have Icy. It probably doesn't have Icy, realistically. So we get to go out into Calyrex and get more grassy terrain recovery, which is nice. Are you Shadow Ball? We'll figure it out. Again, knock off into the Blaziken, and it gets rid of Focus Sash. Okay, so we already got rid of the item, so that's important. Photosynthesis wears off, which is great for me. Because now if they want Photosynthesis, they have to go out into Groudon. Grassy terrain disappears from the field, and we're just clicking at. I feel like I either click Astral or I click Protect. Obviously, it depends on, do I expect a Groudon coming in, and do I expect Shadow Ball? There's no way you click Close Combat to my instant, right? I don't think you do. I'm gonna Protect Parting. I think the Groudon's coming in. Yep. Yep, perfect. Okay. So this is good for me, because I do get a Parting off into the Flutter. I'm curious if Flutter goes down to Grassy Glide after the Reflect wears off, but I guess we'll figure it out. Oh, they just went for Moon. Oh, they don't have Shadow Ball. Or they were covering for a Terra. Might not be Shadow Ball, though. I get a free parting into Rilla. I mean, I think I just have to at this point. I think I just have to. I think I just have to fake out Astral. I don't really see another play. The question is, do I Terra or not? Because it's always just a mind game. I feel like Moonblast Dazzling Gleam might not run Shadow Ball. It might be Icy as the last move, and if it's Icy, that would be really good for me. I think I'm just going to go for the Astral, and I'm going to go for the fake out. Last turn Reflect. I still think it's fake out Astral. Let's see. Flutter retreats Grimmsnarl. That's perfect. Oh, that's so good for me. Okay. I was actually hoping that the Grimmsnarl was lower, because I was hoping it was in Grassy Glide range, but this still works. Okay. I do get a very nice I do get a very nice Astral into the Grimmsnarl. That should do like 25. Yep. My Calyx might let Precipice Blades. I don't think they're going to Heat Crash. I think we just Astral as a light screen here most likely. And or did a Thunder Wave? They could, I guess. But nothing I can do. I think I'm just going to Grassy Glide here. You see a Terastization, so is this Terra Fire? That makes sense to me, because I could Grassy Glide, Astral that slot, I suppose. Yeah, they Terra to Groudon, which makes sense. I don't really have the best sense to deal with Groudon. Did they go for Heat Crash, though? Is a good question. Grassy Glide. Oh, that did a lot less, because I'll Reflect is up, right? Light Screen. Acceptable. I do get the Astral Barrage off. They shouldn't KO Grim though. Yeah, there's a little less to Groudon too. Okay, they do Heat Crash my Rilla. Yeah, okay, I had a feeling. I might be able to win though, so this is fine. We go to Instant always. How many turns of Sun are left? Because that's really the important part. Like, how many turns of Sun are left are crucial here. 2. Okay, no, this is super ideal. Okay, I go for Nasty Plot with Terra Dark, and then I fake out the Groudon. Okay, we might have some out, because they might attempt to T-Wave my Calyrex this turn. And if they do, I get a Nasty Plot off for free. Oh, beautiful. Okay, it's Scary Face. Now I'm gonna make a bit of a what seems like questionable play, but it works out. Actually, no. My best play here is to go for a Protect and a swap to Koraidon. Yeah, no, this is my best play. The reason this is my best play is because they can't threaten the knockout into my Koraidon. When the sun fades, I'll have a very favorable spot to just go for Astral Collision Course the next turn. And I think I should knock out the Groudon if I'm not mistaken. But even if it doesn't, Heat Crash might not KO when the sun is over. Actually, it probably does. I don't know. That's tough. Oh, well, no. Switching out is fine. Doesn't change anything. They go Blaziken because they're trying to sack Blaziken. That's fine. They don't get the speed boost, so that's the important part. This is Protect from the Groudon. Now they Heat Crash. Okay. So my Groudon comes in for free. I get to click Astral and I get to click Collision Course into the Groudon. Sun fades, so I don't give the sun to Flutter Mane for the Photosynthesis, which is what I'm trying to deny for sure. Reflect wears off. But they also could just go out into Grimmsnarl, Protect Blaziken, and then go Flutter. I think I live a Gleam though with Calyrex, so that should be fine though. I always collision Astral here. They do make the smart switch. This is Grim and Protect. Yep. Good play on their part. What was the play I countered this? It was Nasty Plot Flame Charge. I don't even know if that really helps me here. I do live a Gleam with Calyrex. The question is, do they Moonblast? And if they Moonblast, can I beat the Groudon? It's close. I just don't think I'd beat the Groudon if that's the case. I think I have to read whether they Gleam or they Moonblast. I think that's like super important here. So this is always Flutter. There's no way you're never going Flutter here. Yeah. So healthy. They only have Light Screen up. A Flame Charge is not going to KO. Yeah, I just got an Astral and I got a Flare Blitz. Like if they Gleam, I think I win with just Astral. If they Moonblast, I can still play out of it, but they also have to worry about if I protect Flare Blitz. So there's a lot of intricacies here. There's so much that could go wrong or right. Depends on what Flutter does. Like Blaziken is forced to switch out. Yep. So was the play to protect Flare Blitz or was the play just to go for Astral? Let's see if I'm right or wrong. Because it is a gamble here. Flutter. Nice. Okay. Yep, as I said, I live with the Gleam because I got rid of the Fairy Feather earlier. Astral Barrage should nuke the Flutter. I guess it depends on if it's max speed Blaziken because I don't think I outspeed it with my Calyrex, unfortunately. Because my Calyrex is faster than max speed Smeargle after a +1, but I'm not faster than a Blaziken if it's Jolly max. If it's Adamant or something else, then it's fine. But here's the thing, is there a reason to ever run like a max speed Blaziken like that? It is Sash though. I mean, we go for Astral, we go for the knock. Like we could still lose just because the Blaziken is weird to deal with. Double protect here. Yep. You're praying that the Blaziken's faster, I suppose. Like if I'm really slow Cali, like if I'm modest. I'm timid, but I'm not timid max. In one of the random situations I would have liked timid. I could also go for a Heat Wave miss if they misplay, so I think it's still just better to go for Astral Barrage. Let's see. I've done all I can. I made like most of the right plays. I guess the only play I could have done right was protect the Koraidon Astral. I think I had to hard commit maybe. Maybe I just had to hard commit and Astral protect that one turn. Okay, we're not losing the Blaziken. We are not losing the Blaziken. As we KO the Groudon and we knock out the Blaziken. Whew. All right. I am glad. I am very, very glad. I didn't think so. I thought they would probably have some attack investment. Didn't expect a knockoff. Didn't expect a mix set. But it worked out. Because like I just don't think there's any reason to run like a naive Blaziken or what's the other one? Look, I can't even remember. That rattle took so much brain power out of me. But oh my goodness, like yeah, Groudon Grimmsnarl is just not fun for this team. But thankfully, if I position well and I get a few calls right, it works out. Luckily, I got most of them right, which was the important part. All right, we have Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, Chien-Pao, Dragonite, Amoonguss, and Raging Bolt. This is a team that got top 4 at the World Championship, piloted by Montana, and I did not want to face this team at the World Championship because Dragonite's honestly a nightmare matchup for me. It's playable, but they have so many tools that just makes this annoying, this matchup bad. All right, how am I approaching this? I think I'm just gonna go with Regieleki plus Calyrex, because that's usually what I did against a lot of the Dragonite combos. And then in the back, we definitely need Koraidon. Was I Incin or Volcarona in this usually? It's kind of tough to say. I think I was always Incin, so I could deal with the Chien-Pao better, but it might have been Rillaboom. Might have been Rillaboom for the Grassy Glide. I'm gonna bring Rillaboom. I never really thought too much about this composition since it was more like a World Spring, and I did face like Dragonite stuff, but it was usually with like Scarf Calyx Shadow Rider, which is a lot easier to handle. This is going to be a bit complicated, but let's see. We're going to see Dragonite and Zamazenta, so this actually works out pretty well for me as I lead Regieleki Calyrex. I want to gamble on Psychic Thunderbolt just KOing, because if I get the KO with Psychic Thunderbolt, I'm in a good spot. I think that's definitely worth a gamble. I think I am just going to Thunderbolt and I am going to go for Psychic. I don't know if they Terra Normal, but if they Terra Normal, that's fine. If they decide to stay in regular form, it was better for me to go for Astral, but yeah, I think it's fine going for a Psychic. I don't need the immediate damage in the Zamazenta, though it would be very nice. It's not necessary to win. What was the terrestrialization on the Zama? Because I can't remember. Was it Dragon or was it Water? I have a feeling it was Water, but I might be wrong here. The best option for me, though, is to double this Dragonite, because this Dragonite's a pain to deal with. If they switch to Pow, it's bad. If they go Amoonguss, that's fine. Oh, this is the perfect situation. This is the perfect situation if I get the knockout. I'm hoping Regieleki and Thunderbolt plus Psychic should KO. Yeah, it should. Because I remember this not KOing in some situations, but then again, that was generally against the... what's it called? The multi-scale ones, because some of the Dragonites on ladder I played were multi-scale, and I had to, and like, obviously in CTS I didn't have that info, so I didn't bring Incin, and I couldn't confirm it, but that's a beautiful knockout turn one. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, that's such an amazing knockout. They go Shadow Rider here. Perfect. I don't really care about the Shadow Rider, do I? Not really. I mean, I am gonna Electroweb, but do I Electroweb Psychic here? I think I do. I think I Electroweb, and I think I go for... actually, I Electroweb Protect, right? No, Electroweb Protect is definitely the best play. Well, it depends. Do they Wide Guard again? I have a few different options because I'm trying to play around the Zamazenta Protect, but also Calyx could Protect and they could Body Press on an aggressive read. I think I'm just going to go for Terra Dark Psychic plus the Electroweb. I mean, back Pokemon should be Pow. Pow is actually still pretty annoying, but I can play out of it still. Is that Terra Normal? Okay, it's Terra Normal. That's not what I... that's a change, right? Because the original was Ghost for sure. Okay. So Psychic was the best play. I have no idea, though, what their attacks are here. They're not encoring me, that's for sure. Okay, I do get the Electroweb off, so that's a nice speed drop on both of these Pokemon, because now my Koraidon's going to have a very fun time against them. They got a huge Psychic off into their Zamazenta, massive damage. Astral Barrage, I won't take too much. Who did they Body Press, though? Ideally, it's the Regieleki, because I think if it's Regieleki, I think it's game over for them. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, awesome. So now I go out into Koraidon. And I just threaten some heavy damage. Okay, so that couldn't have worked out better. That couldn't have worked out better. Because now that Calyx is taking a speed drop, we get a Collision Course plus a Astral Barrage off. Because they're not going to wide guard in this situation. Yeah, they're probably going to protect or swap or something. They do swap out. Perfect. Raging Bolt. Yep. Do they protect? Some are wide guard here. And if they wide guard, I still win the game anyway, regardless. Yep. Perfect. That should seal the win. Because I will be able to get an Astral Barrage into the Raging Bolt. They were just really unlikely to wide guard there because it was unlikely. But here's the thing. Collision Course was always getting to Cali because of the speed drop. I outspeed. If they and the Zamazenta was most likely going to protect there or just sacrifice itself. So I am able to pin the Calyx slot no matter what. And yeah, like unless they made a hard wide guard call out, but even if they hard wide guard call out, the next turn is still questionable because I could just easily psychic and flame charge the next turn. So I don't think they had much that could cover or get them back into the game. Alex comes in. We just flame charge the Zamazenta and actually. I KO'd a Calyrex. Trying to think if there is a way I lose here. It's just double the Zamazenta, right? Because they're really unlikely to go for the double protect. Yeah, it is. Yeah, they go for wide guard, so I think I just win off this. Perfect. Because even if they go for psychic. Oh, they went for Encore. Okay, perfect. Now I guarantee win. Which is a surprising one, unless they hard red like my Karana switch or to go for protect there. So they lock me into Astral, which means I can't do anything to their Zamazenta with the knockout. But the thing is, I do get the flame charge the next turn. Also, Terra Normal Encore is definitely an interesting set. I thought they changed it to Life Orb, but perfect. We are able to KO the Zamazenta, which is awesome for me, and now I get a Collision Course off into the Alex, and I can switch out into Rillaboom. And yeah, if they didn't have Psychic, they had to go for Psychic Crit there, because otherwise my Karana was always going to be able to get the Flame Charge off in the Zamazenta, and the game was over at that point. So unless they went for like a double protect with Zamazenta, super hard read, and maybe like a Psychic, like I was still in the game regardless, because I still had a Rillaboom in the back with Fake Out Pressure. And yeah, like Grassy Terrain healing would have been pretty big. So I felt like I was still fine regardless. But yeah, a Dragonite does take some hard commitments at times. Alright, we have Calyx, Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, and Gouging Fire. Okay. Gouging Fire is weird, but also like the Calyx, Shadow Rider plus the Zamazenta mode is not easy, especially in CTS. So what would I do against this? Would I just go Shadow Rider or would I just go Volcarona Incin? Both are generally okay leads. I could also do like Regieleki stuff with Rhydon for Electro Flare Blitz, which isn't bad. I think I'm just gonna go with Volcarona plus Incin probably. And I think I'm gonna do Rillaboom and Koraidon back. Like, this is probably what I would do in a game one, at least because I just don't know what the sets are on my opponent's team. Gouging Fire is kind of weird here because it can take advantage of my Photosynthesis, but then again, if they bring Gouging Fire, that's one less mana I have to deal with. So they lead Grimmsnarl and Incineroar, which is actually perfectly fine by me. As I lead Volcarona Incin. Yeah, so they led heavy anti-Shadow Rider, so this ends up working out pretty well. I'm the faster Incineroar, which is interesting here, because I don't think it should ever be an Incineroar speed tie. Okay. I'm just going to start Quiver Dancing up, because getting the special defense boost is necessary for Shadow Rider. I'm just going to fake out the Grimmsnarl and go for a Quiver. They saw that I had the faster instance. I'm very shocked that they did that, but okay. I do get the Quiver Dance up with my Volcarona as the Grimmsnarl attacked here, looked like. Because it didn't flinch, right? Yeah, it just flinched now. So that meant they went for an attacking move instead. Okay. I mean, I just want the boost realistically. Getting the boost is really important to me. I think I go for a knockoff and I knock off the Grimmsnarl screens because they probably either T-Wave or they light screen here. Either way, I deny screens for like 8 turns, or they They Thunder Wave me. It's fine. Oh, wow. They are really playing aggressive here. Okay. Able to get the boost. So now I have +2 Volcarona, which is really nice. Unless they're Roar Instant. Spirit Break. Okay. They're trying to get chip into my Instant. Get a knockoff. So now it should be Light Clay, right? Yeah. They just knock off. Okay. That's fine. I've gotten the items I pretty much have wanted here, so I think my play is just to protect and go for a parting shot into the Incineroar. I could potentially avoid Thunder Wave, which would be really nice here, actually. They go for Light Screen, so good plan on their part. We get a parting shot off. Did they parting shot my Instant, or did they parting shot my Volcarona is going to be a good question. Again, if they have Roar, they have Roar. Not much I can do about it. I'm going to go Rillaboom here. I don't want to go Koraidon instead of the Sun. I also don't want to deal with Thunder Wave, so I definitely go out into Rillaboom. They parting shot my Volcarona. Nice. So that's really good. Like, these are really good turns for me here. So now I can go for Fake Out and Fiery Dance into the Grimmsnarl and be in a pretty good spot, I'd say. I guess the question is, what kind of Gouging Fire are you? If you're just Speed Booster, then that's fine. They probably went for Reflect or T-Wave. I get the Fiery Dance off. It's +2, so it should do a decent amount of damage. I don't know if that's Grassy Glide range, just a question. No boost, which is a bit unfortunate because it could have negated the parting shot, but I don't think it's that bad of a position. Okay. So is this Shadow Rider, or is this, I mean, or is this Gouging Fire? It could be Gouging Fire. Alex, okay. I'm just gonna Fiery Dance to Grimmsnarl, and I'm just gonna go for Woodhammer, I think, into the Calyrex. I could Grassy Glide, but I don't think Grassy Glide KOs the Grim anyway. If they go for Reflect or switch to Instant, that's fine. Looks like they're switching out to Instant, which is okay. Yeah, that's fine. Because I don't even think I KO Grim, and then I can maybe get more Quivers off. Yeah, they do go for the T-Wave. So, I mean, I knew I was going to eventually get T-Wave, but I'm glad I have my Quiver Dance boost for the Calyrex now. I do get a Fiery Dance off. Ooh, wait, that's a bad crit. I don't want to KO the Grim. I was hoping I could get some opportunities to set up more Quiver Dances. That's not good. Because just having the speed boost would have been nice. Alright, I get a Woodhammer off into the Instant. Not Helmet. It might be Goggles. So they should probably go out into Calyrex here. Yep. I'm probably just going to Fake Out Nasty Plot. My best play is to go into my Instant. It's just to Fiery Dance or Calyrex and U-turn the Calyrex on their side. Yeah. If this is helping hand Instant, it might get a little bit scary, but... Oh, it's Calm Mind. That's so much easier to deal with. Calm Mind is a lot easier to deal with. Okay. Here's what the Rilla went for. Did they go for a knockoff? Or did they Parting Shot again? Okay, I do get another Fiery Dance off. Getting a bit lucky with these Fiery Dance boosts, but I mean, this is still okay. I guess the question is, do they go Zamazenta? Because if they go Zamazenta, it's a bit questionable. But we will go out into Incineroar. They still have Terrestrialization available. Ah, they did Parting Shot, so this is probably Zamazenta. Who are you gonna Terra? I gotta think. Is there a way I can have like a super safe spot? Because it's +1 Calyrex, and I'm assuming it's Spell Tech, so that Astro's gonna hurt a lot. Unless they just Calm Mind again. They might Calm Mind again. I think the best play is just to Quiver Dance and Fake Out. Okay, they say in no terrestrialization, which is crazy. They did knockoff. I mean, they did Calm Mind again. I could have just went for a Terra. I could have went for Terra Bug knockoff. Okay. So we're +3 with Volk. We probably outspeed Zamazenta. I just don't know if we would KO it. Dealing with the Calyx is super scary, but I mean, it should be fine. We're faster than Zamazenta, confirmed. Light Screen wears off. So I think Fire Dance Okos unless they go for Terra. I think my best play is just to still Fiery Dance the Zama and go for... Is it Terra Bug or is it just regular knockoff? Or I mean, is it just Terra Bug or just staying regular? That's just going to do so much damage. +2, they're +2 as well. Maybe I should just go for Fiery Dance in the Calyx because I know the Terra's coming. And I go for Roar. They go for Terrestrialization. This should always be Zamazenta. There's no way you tear Shadow Rider in this position. Yeah. Okay, this is fine. I can play out of this. Maybe I should have quivered again, but I think this is still acceptable. This should definitely be Astral and the body prep. I could have just Terra Bugged, man. I could have just Terra Bugged. I do get the Fiery Dance off at least, which is good. Oh, I get the crit. Okay. Sure. Sure. One of us was getting crit probably eventually. I'm definitely glad it's my side that gets it, but I don't know. I just don't get why you wouldn't Astral Body Press cover to Terra. I didn't Terra. I could, like, that play is so greedy. That play is so greedy. Yeah, I guarantee win now, but like, I don't know. We go Rillaboom first. I guess I don't guarantee win, but it's like super likely that I have this. I mean, yeah, like I was just trying to put the Calyx in range of Grassy Glide. Like that was my goal. Like my goal was to try and put in range of Windhammer Grassy Glide. Like that's what I was setting up. Like a Fake Out, Fiery Dance into like a Grassy Glide situation. It's like they're not healing anything from Draining Kiss because they don't have Terrestrialization, so it would not be doing much damage. I mean, I have no reason to ever target the Instant. My best play is just to quiver here and just go for a Fake Out into the Zamazenta. No, it's to Fake Out the Instant. Because I don't need Rilla health to win this game. If my Volcarona gets paralyzed the entire game, I could still lose, I guess, to the Zamazenta. But otherwise, it's like super hard to win. Yep. I don't know. I just think it was greedy. I just think that not going for Astro is just a heck of a greedy play. I mean, it worked out, but if I Terra Bugged at any point, it could have gone disasters for them. I do think, again, I could have still won without the crit, but that's what happens when we're both playing setup teams that rely on our defense. It's like eventually one of us is going to crit, and luckily it wasn't me who got crit. All right, we have... Is that a Volbeat? Volbeat, Ditto, King Gambit, Urshifu, Terapagos, and Miraidon. What the heck am I looking at? Okay, this is weird. This is very weird. I'm not too scared about Ditto. I am scared about King Gambit potentially figuring out the Terapagos item. I think it could either be Specs or it could be Power. Both are kind of scary. All right. I think the combo I want to go with is Volcarona Rillaboom lead, which seems pretty safe against the general team concept with Incineroar and Koraidon back. I don't know. Terrestrialization wise, it's probably going to be Koraidon. Calyx Shower is like fine, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm not like a big fan of Yvesangelist in this matchup because it doesn't really do too much in this one. So let's see. We're going to see the lead of Miraidon Volbeat. Okay. Because I lead Rillaboom plus the Volcarona. Did I just fake out Fiery Dance the Volbeat? I definitely want to Fiery Dance the Volbeat. The question is, do I fake out the Volbeat too? I mean, it's probably Cover Cloak, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go for fake out into the Miraidon and just Fiery Dance the Volbeat. Volbeat's not a bulky Pokemon, so I'm kind of curious. It probably does live the Fiery Dance though. We'll see what the rest happens, because I'm trying to figure this out. Like, if this is Cover Cloak Miraidon and they just reveal the fake tears. No, wait, does Volbeat get fake tears? I'm pretty sure it does, right? Or is that Illumise? I forget which moves are Illumise exclusive. Oh, they just go for Light Screen. That's fine. Okay. So, yeah, it's Cover Cloak. I had a feeling. Like, I had a feeling, man. That's okay. Yeah, like, at least the Volcarona doesn't take too much damage. I do get a Fiery Dance off, which is going to do some decent damage here to the Volbeat. Not as much as I was hoping for. I do get a special attack boost, and I'll get all this recovery. Okay, so we know that the Miraidon's not like a super scary item. I think I'm just going to protect with my Volcarona. And I'm just going to U-turn out the Miraidon, because I'm pretty sure the Volbeat is going to be in range of fake out Fiery Dance from Incineroar. So I just don't know if they're going to encore my Rillaboom into fake out. I feel like you want to double up the Volk with pressure, with like some kind of fake tears if you have it. I just can't remember, because I know Volbeat gets the weather moves. Is it Illumise that only gets fake tears exclusively? I can't remember. Okay, they go for Rain Dance. Is this Thunder? No, they had Electric Drift. No way they have Thunder too. Yeah. Okay. So that's fine. I do get a U-turn. Does fake out plus Fiery Dance Oko to Volbeat? I guess that's a good question. That will be a good question. Okay. Also, since it's Rain Dance Volbeat, we have to get rid of Volbeat guaranteed. Otherwise, we're not having a fun time with my Koraidon. So I wonder if they switch out the Volbeat or not. Does Volbeat get Encore? I think it does. I'm like pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure Illumise. I think Illumise might have fake tears exclusive. I'm gonna go for Fiery Dance fake out into the Volbeat. Their best play would be to switch into Urshifu, I think, if they have it, but that's fine. With Volcarona healing with all the grassy terrain and leftovers recovery, we should live any Miraidon attack since it's Cover Cloak and not like a boosting item. And if we KO the Volbeat, that means Koraidon is a bit more opened up. So they give me the Volbeat, which is really nice, actually. Okay. So I get a fake out into the Volbeat. I have no idea what they decide to click. Electric Drift into Incineroar is perfect. Okay, awesome. I bet they encored the Volcarona slot, so this works out really well for me, as I do get a Fiery Dance. Awesome. Oh, I didn't KO? I guess it's still fine. I know that thing gets Endeavor. Is it worth me losing my Incineroar here, potentially? My best play is just to protect the Volcarona and probably Parting Shot or swap. I think I just swapped to Rilla. I want a Parting Shot on a Miraidon very badly, but it's not necessary. It's like just a really bad risk, potentially. And then next turn, I think I'm just going to fake out Giga Drain to Volbeat. Okay. So we're playing around the Volbeat. Tailwind comes out, which is fine. So it's Tailwind, Light Screen, Rain Dance, Endeavor, potentially? Okay, they targeted the Volcarona. I could have just went for a Parting Shot into the Miraidon, but definitely not worth it to me. Like, it could have gone way worse. Like, losing Incineroar would not have been great there. Okay. Like, Volcarona's healthy. I still don't think this is that bad of a spot, realistically. I can just go for a... Oh, I think it's Encore? I don't think it's Encore. I could Quiver Dance up now and fake out the Volbeat. Hey, you know what? I'm going to fake out and quiver dance. I don't see a problem here. So I get a fake out off. It still went for a prankster move. Okay, they go for electro drift. I don't know if it's encore or not. We tank it. Did we get a burn for chip? Nope. Quiver dance. I still am scared of what the Volbeat last move is. I think Grassy Glide should easily KO the Volbeat. I do want a U-turn probably though. Yeah, no, I would want a U-turn regardless. Are you encore? Ice Cream wears off. Grassy Terrain disappears from the field. I don't know, the Volcarona Protect is a bit obvious. I can't Grassy Glide though, so I would have to protect U-turn or some other situation. I think I'm just going to protect and U-turn though still to be safe. Yeah, I think it's the safe play. Let's see. Did they have Encore and they Encore my Rillaboom, or do they have some other tech? It is Encore. Okay, so we know all 4 moves now. Okay, that's good to confirm. And I get the U-turn damage. It won't knock out the Volbeat, but next turn I can set up a nice fake out situation. Oh, they go for a Volt Switch, which is interesting. Okay. So this is Urshifu? If it's Urshifu, that's fine. Terapagos, okay. Are you Meteor Beam is going to be a good question. I get a U-turn off. I do KO the Volbeat actually, which is actually a nice spot to have. I think. I definitely go Incineroar here. If I go Koraidon, it's not that great. Yeah, I definitely go Incineroar here. Because I threaten to fake out pressure and have Koraidon later on. Rain stops, which is perfect, so my Volcarona will have the power. Problem is, we just protected and we're vulnerable to Meteor Beam and Electric Drift, so that's not exactly great. I could Terrasilize. I have no idea what the Terapagos set is, though. I also can't fake out the Miraidon because of Covert Cloak. Wait, they didn't go Miraidon. No, that is Miraidon. Okay, that made more sense. I was like, what? I am boosted. They have Tailwind. Do I need Volcarona to win the game? I don't think I do. It's nice, but it's not necessary. If it's Meteor Beam, that's still concerning. I could fake out Gorilla. But I feel like I lose in the long term. I could Terra. I think my best play is just to go for Quiver. I think it's just go for Quiver and swap to Rilla. Oh, they switch out to Terapagos, which is really good for me, actually. Into Ditto. Oh, okay. That works for me. I'll take it. They have a boosted Volcarona, but that's fine. That's fine. All right, get the Rillaboom in. We get the Quiver off. We'll take an attack from the Miraidon. Yep, they go for Electric Drift again. Yep, we tank. And we get another Quiver, and then we get Leftovers Grassy. Good, good, good. Here's what the what the Ditto set is on their team. So they only trace +1, so it's not like the biggest deal about their Volcarona. I definitely live a Fiery Dance at +1. Maybe not a Draco Fiery Dance, but that's acceptable. A few different options. I could fake out and Giga Drain here for recovery, which would be pretty nice because I'm +4. Oh yeah, they're +3. Never mind. I'm taking a lot of damage. I think I'm just gonna Giga Drain the Miraidon and just fake out the Ditto, which works out for me. I get a good amount of recovery from the Miraidon thanks to Leftovers Grassy Terrain. I get to see if it's potentially Scarf Ditto as well, because I think Scarf Ditto would outspeed me here, because it's like, what, 1.5 times 1.5 versus times 2? Yeah, I think that'd be the case. Oh, this is Terra Ghost. That's smart. That is super smart. I mean, at least they don't resist my Giga Drain anymore, but will I live the turn? I don't know. I wish I protected instead and switched to instant because I debated about that play too. Oh, they just Fiery Dance my Rilla. Okay, that's not terrible. Also, it is confirmed to be Scarf. That is a lot of damage. I do get good Giga Drain recovery. Electro Drift is not going to KO me. Overheat, what? Okay. Unless you crit, man. Unless you crit. That definitely did less damage than Electro Drift. I'm just saying that. I was definitely healing back. I would have been fine. I think I guarantee lose now. Is there a way to come back? I do not think so. Not after that. I need him to Giga Throw here. Because they also got the Fiery Dance special attack boost, so they KO Incineroar here. Wait, what's your moveset? Electro Drift? There's no way you don't have Draco. If they have Draco, I just hope for a miss at this point, I think. I think I'm going to hope for the throw of them switching out into the... what's it called? The Terapagos, so I get a Flame Charge and a knockoff. They stay in, they Fiery Dance. But they did target Koraidon. Also, as you can see, it does so much damage with the boost. If I just protect knockoff, I win. If I just protect knockoff, I win. That's why I didn't think they would double up the Koraidon like that. Like, I think a fire... Like, I couldn't fake out Era Slot. Oh my goodness. This game. Wait, what? Oh my goodness. My Volk is just a goat. My Volk is just a goat. Because I did not think that Ditto was living a knockoff because it had way less HP than my Volk. But my Volk has a lot of defense. Okay, it's game over. Could I even win if I protect Knock? If Knock didn't KO, I would have had to Roar there. And if I Roar, it's still not a great spot because the Ditto can still copy me in the later parts of the game. I guess if I Collision Course knock out the Miraidon the next turn. But the big question is, does Collision Course knock out the Miraidon? And what does the Terapagos have? Is it Specs Earth Power? Like... I think the crit was very unfortunate because I think the game was definitely very fine if I didn't get crit, but the crit just ended the game immediately. Not another Dragon Knight. We have Iron Valiant, Zamazenta, Dragonite, Amoonguss, Chien-Pao, and Calyx Shadow Rider. Great. Is this going to be the ladder special where it's the Scar Calyx Shadow Rider? I guess we'll find out. I'm leading Yvesangelist plus Shadow Rider. And then going to do Koraidon and the... I want Rillaboom this time. I don't want Incin or Volcarona even. Volcarona's not bad in this matchup, assuming I can get rid of the Dragonite quickly enough. Grassy Glide does a lot, very nice into Shadow Rider. Tough decision, tough decision. Because my Zamazenta answers aren't like amazing. I think I'm just going to bring Rillaboom to be safe. Yeah. Just a Dragonite version of this team is always super scary for my matchup because it is not an easy one. I do have to make a lot of commitments to deal with the Dragonite, and they lead the Chien-Pao Dragonite. We are going to play some calls. We're going to play some calls. Let's see what they decide to go here. Yep, let's have some fun. Okay. So Chien-Pao Dragonite lead versus the Calyx Shadow Rider Yvesangelist. Okay. I think I'm gonna make A crazy turn one. Protect Nasty Plot. The reason I'm going to protect Nasty Plot is they usually try to pin a slot with Sucker Punch plus E-Speed. If they go for my Yvesangelist, I get the free Nasty Plot. And usually if it's like Sucker Extreme Speed, they can't touch my Shadow Rider in this position if I Nasty Plot. They always go for the Terra Normal, the Dragonite. Yep. Okay. So I get a free Protective Yvesangelist. Let's see what they went for. They attacked with the POW, which is not good. They also did Extreme Speed, so what did they click? They clicked Ice Spinner. Rock Slide. Did they try to cover Volcarona? I guess they did. Okay, that's a weird one. That did not work out well. That did not work out well. Okay. Just gonna Volt Switch in Volt Switch Protect. If I lose Rillaboom, that's fine. I need to Sash Broken on POW. Well, I think it's probably Assault Vest because it doesn't have much. That definitely did not do that much damage. I'm just confused right now. Okay. I'm just confused. I hope they don't Sucker Punch slash Ice Shard my Yvesangelist, though. It's probably still fine even if they do. Okay, they Ice Shard my Calyx. Oh, this is a perfect position, actually. This is a perfect position because I get a free Volt Switch off into POW. It's definitely Assault Vest. Good to confirm. We go out into Rillaboom here for a bit of grassy terrain. We'll take a Rock Slide easily. Well, we're going to take a bit of damage because it's still sort of ruining Choice Band. But I mean, granted, we should still be pretty acceptable here. You go for Rock Slide. Yep. The rest I'm kind of curious about, but we should be... Did do a lot, but that's acceptable. Okay. We go for Fake Out into the Chien Pow, and we go for Psychic into the Dragonite. They have no switch into the Psychic. Please be Inner Focus and not the multi-scale variant. Actually, if it's multi-scale, it might not even be that bad. I could probably get a Flame Charge situation off. Yeah, that wouldn't be that bad, actually. All right, let's see. Let's see. Although them getting to switch and then threaten the E-Speed. No, that'd actually still be annoying. Yeah, I'd rather just be able to put on the pressure here, but let's see. They don't have a good switch to Psychic. I like the idea of just a Fake on a POW. It's not Covert Cloak. It's definitely Assault Vest based on the damage. They switch out Dragonite, so whatever's coming in is taking a Psychic, which I do appreciate. Aliens, okay. Booster, so it's not Psychic, okay. If I Astraled, it would have been a crazy play, but it's not necessary to. I do get a Psychic off. Yeah. You get the boost. What's the back Pokemon? Is this Shadow Rider or is it Zama? I think it's probably Shadow Rider, I'd assume. I gotta think about like who I'm sacking. Dragonite comes in. Does E-Speed knock my Rillaboom out at this range? It probably does. It's Choice Band Dragonite. With Sword of Ruin. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to figure out which one is more valuable, Yvesangelist or the. This is tough. I think I just got a U-turn and I gotta go for Protect. Because this is Ice Shard Extreme Speed. I don't have a way to play out of it. Extreme Speed. Why did they E-Speed? Why did you E-Speed that? Make it Ice Spinner? That's fine by me. I don't know why they did that, but I'll take it. Grassy Terrain disappears from the field, sure. I can bring out Koraidon and then we can play 50-50s. Okay, Ice... They had to Ice Shard my Calyrex. Astral should KO the Chien-Pao at this range. I think my best play is just to go for a Flame Charge and a Chien-Pao. Or not Calyrex. Definitely not Calyrex. Flame Charge and Astral KO the Chien-Pao. Because if they double up my Koraidon, that's fine. I KO the Chien-Pao and then I have Yvesangelist. And hopefully Yvesangelist plus Shadow Rider can clean up endgame wise. But we'll see. They're going to go for Extreme Speed and a Koraidon. That makes sense. How much does it do? Oh, it does way too much. Okay. Nice shard. I think I have to get a double protect in the end game. I do get a flame charge off. I need the flame charge so I can outspeed the... What's it called? The Shadow Rider back. Was it better to have Rillaboom? I mean, the fact that they almost tossed the game by going for the Ice Spinner instead of the Ice Shard is still something crazy to me. Let's see. Lucky in. Yeah, it's the Shadow Rider. They're probably E-speeding my Koraidon and they're clicking Astral Barrage. Then the next turn I'm gonna have to guess, but my best play here is just to go for a Terra Electric T-Bolt into the Shadow Rider and pray. Because I gotta call the Dragonite slot the next turn and I have to get the play right. Like that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Because I can win with a double protect, I think. I do think I can win with a double protect from the Koraidon or a mind game read right the next turn. If they don't extreme speed Astral my Yvesangelist this turn. Okay, yep. I do get the T-Bolt off into the Calyrex. I think it's an Electro up range, so I think I just have to guess here. Again, I think it comes down to a double protect potentially. That didn't bring me to Sash, which is funny. Okay, I gotta read where the Dragonite target is. If they extreme speed Koraidon, then it's kind of an interesting mind game because they might think, oh, he's always going to go for a double protect with Koraidon, and he's going to go for a attack with Yvesangelist. If I get to play, if they go for extreme speed and Yvesangelist, then my best play is to collision course with Dragonite here and protect Yvesangelist. It's literally just a call on the attack. They might just extreme speed to Koraidon because it's a safer endgame route, but yeah. Otherwise, I guess I could stall out of extreme speeds because they've gone for how many at this point? I'm gonna go for the aggressive read and see if it pays off. Nah, that made sense. Unfortunate. I had to go for a double protect to get in Electro Up. I think if I do that, I don't even know if I win because I don't even know if Electro Up into Thunderbolt even knocks out the Dragonite. I think it's probably unlikely, but yeah, as I mentioned before, the Dragonite matchup was just super rough. Like, Dragonite was not a mon that was like on the radar like when I built this team a month ago, and unfortunately started popping up and like towards the end. So like it's playable, but I have to make so many hard calls. I mean, this matchup's already super hard calls, but like what can you do? I guess there's technically a way I could win where if I protect stall, but even if I protect stall, it's like over. If I wanted a chance, I had to go for protect, Electro Web, and yeah, like again, or like a misplay on their part and they extreme speed Yvesangelist, or not misplay, but like I gotta catch them on who the target with the Dragonite is, because they do have a chance to extreme speed Yvesangelist, because they might think I'm forced to go for the double protect. And if I get the double protect and I get the Electro Web, they're actually in a really bad spot. But yeah, like there's not much I can do there. All right, let's go over the games. In game number 1, it is the Eternatus Ho-Oh stall stuff, but thankfully Roar and Incineroar is just really good into that matchup because they don't really have the best damage output, and the fact that I could just roar away their setup boost if I'm positioned correctly is fantastic across the board. I was just able to put on a lot of offensive pressure, and with the Calyx Shadow setup, it was really just able to Astral Barrage through the unboosted mons. In game 2, this matchup I do not like playing. The Groudon, Grimmsnarl, Miraidon stuff is definitely a pain, and the Blaziken had some surprises with the knockoff and a bunch of other things, but thankfully I was able to get like a lot of the turns right, and I mean a lot of turns right, because that matchup is not good for my team whatsoever, and I was able to just Astral Barrage through their team. In game 3, it is Dragonite and the team that got top 4 at the World Championship. This is not a matchup I like playing against because Dragonite, I do not have the best mons to hit Dragon Pokemon in general. So I have to get a call right, and thankfully I was able to get a huge turn 1 of being able to knock out the Dragonite on the double up, and then was in a pretty commanding position from there. In game 4, Calyx Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, and they had Calm Mind Calyx Shadow Rider with the Grimmsnarl stuff, and we're really greedy with the Calyx, where if I just went for like a Terra, Bug, Knockoff, or Roar, they just instant lost the game. So I'm very surprised how aggressive they played. But when we're running setup mons such as Volcarona with Quiver and Calm Mind Calyx Shadow Rider, there's eventually going to be a crit, and thankfully I'm the one who got the crit first. In game 5, yeah, that's a Volbeat that we played against, and yeah, Volbeat is interesting. It was all supported moves, and it was Covert Cloak Miraidon. It was definitely a bit tricky to handle, and yeah, I don't think it was that great to deal with. However, I think the game losing crit just was instant loss for me. I think like it wasn't a game sealed if I didn't get crit, but it just put me in such a terrible spot. Unless knockoff KO'd the Volcarona, or aka the Ditto, I was not in the game, and unfortunately since I didn't get the KO, I would have needed a Volcarona to get a hit off earlier, which would have been important, but did not. In game 6, Dragonite round 2, and it is just a difficult one. I think the only things I could have maybe done was go for an Astral Barrage immediately when I saw the Valiant switch, which was important. Maybe instead of going Rillaboom, I could have went for the Flame Charge with Koraidon. There's definitely a few things that I could have definitely went for in exchange, and I do think that maybe, hey, go for the Flame Charge setup, because if I got the Flame Charge setup, it's really nice. I was just worried about back Zamazenta Shadow Rider, but when it was Valiant, yeah, that ended up changing a lot. So a Flame Charge going in on Koraidon and Flame Charging the Qianpao would have definitely helped more than I think just bringing Rillaboom for a fake out Psychic Knockout. And that is the team. I don't think it's the best ladder team, unfortunately, because it's not like the most offensive tools. It's not like the biggest surprises, but consistency wise, I felt like I just had the tools that I needed at the World Championship. And yeah, it was like a lot of calls. I had to make a lot of plays in order to actually do well at the World Championship, especially in day 1. But if you are able to play well, I feel the team has plenty of tools in order to reposition and get those certain situations that you want. So very happy with my run. I don't think there's much that I would change about the team at all. I would definitely bring the team again. Even though it didn't have the best matchups in the top cut, it is still a fun team, and definitely one I'm very proud of, working for several months at this point with this composition, and it was very happy. I was very happy to have a good Worlds results again, especially. So if you would like to check out the details of the team, they'll be linked in the description down below. If you'd like to try out the team, the rental code is on the screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out, but realistically it is probably just going to go away when Regulation I comes around, so it's only a couple days, so make sure you grab what I can. And if you do want to check out the really in-depth team building process that I have, again, go check out the second bonus channel that I have linked in the description down below, which will have the video of like explaining the entire 3 months of like how I ended up making the team and the different iterations, how it came to be. But otherwise, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.